Hey, everybody. Good to see you tonight. Hope everybody had a nice Sunday. It was cold here, sun shining, but cold in Michigan. Let's say hi to some beautiful people in here. Diamond, want to?
All right, sounds good.
So, first one in wins the prize tonight is Bong on 420. Good to see you, 420 Wild Dragon.
Good evening, beautiful EOT, our
Hey,
wonderful friend. Hello.
hey, girl. Sandy Letner. Hello.
Kicking Bird. Hi there.
Uh-oh, Jeff
Oh, no.
Riddler's in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, Riddle.
This Grizz. Hi, Grizz.
Oh, no, Grizz. Don't fall into it, Grizz. Lone Wolf 1. Hello, good to see you.
B-Dog, how are you?
Hey, B-Dog. Gloria, good to see you.
Ingrid Rubio. Good evening.
Dory Finkel, hello.
Quilter. Hello there.
I always say quilt R, so it's quilter.
Quilt R. Yeah. Well, I said, is it Quilt R? And they said Quilter. So that's how I say it. That's all right.
Interesting. Let's see. Twinkle Eyes 62, hello.
Lucy Work. Good evening.
Hey, TJ Cats, good to see you.
Brighter Day. Good evening.
Hey, Brighter Day. Let's see. Michelle Books. Hey, girl.
Debbie Golden. Good evening.
Hi, Wanda. Good to see you.
Doc Honeycutt. Good evening.
Hi, Diane Krupra.
Jeff Riddle. Hi.
B. Lil.
Yeah.
Jamie Barberski. Hello.
Dallas Stewart. Good evening.
Hi, Dallas. Diane B. Good evening.
Vicki Sorrells. Good evening to you, Vicki.
Hey, Stacy. Good to see you.
Hi. Robert Toe. Good evening.
That name makes me laugh. Hey, Garrett. How are ya?
Laurie H. Hello.
Gubnov. Hi. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you, Gubnov. Haven't seen you in a while. Max0311. God bless you.
Hey, Frankstein. Good to see you.
Quiltar says, doesn't matter how you pronounce my name. Love you all.
Aww.
Thank you, Quilter.
I'm just going to call you Quilt.
Good evening. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. MES. Hello, hello.
White Rabbit. Airborne. Good evening.
Deputy Dog. Hi, Deputy Dog.
Deputy Dog. What? Good evening.
Okay. Is it EM or is it IM? That's what I want to know because he comes into Mountain Man's and Mountain Man calls him EM and I call him I am.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good question.
Speaking of Mountain Man, somebody's knocking at the door.
Oh,
somebody's ringing the bell. Hi, Mountain Man.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Hi, Mountain Man. Good.
Can you
Nick's
hear me
Creations. Hi. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, Mountain Man.
Oh, that's good.
Boy. Craig the Hunter.
Oh, hi,
well,
Craig.
Are you?
What's that, Mountain Man?
Okay, we're live. I was just wondering if we're live.
We're live. We were just saying hello to all these beautiful people in chat.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you have a nice relaxing Sunday?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. Sadie's got one more day for her cone to be on her head.
Aw, poor Sadie.
She's eating right now. She has to put her stuff on the floor so she can't eat out of the bowl with that cone on her head.
Sadie is Mountain Man's cat who is injured by another animal outside, and she had to have surgery. She was injured bad.
Yeah.
So she has a cone to keep her away from her stitches.
Yep. So
Hey, Brian Smith. What's that, Mountain Man?
Oh, I was just wondering. I thought I might have missed something on the conversation, but I'm seeing here what's going on.
Yeah, no, I just started. I have a video I'd like to play. I labeled my show just what exactly is going on. I have a Fox clip I'd like to play for you guys, and we can discuss it.
All right.
Hold on, I was just reading a comment from Garrett. While y'all are focusing on Trump, Biden's busy trying to get away with passing a Second Amendment assault weapons ban through the House and Senate. Garrett, what do you know? What do you know what I'm focusing on and what I'm not focusing on? That's what I want to know. I'm focusing on everything. There's a lot of things going on, Garrett, not just one thing. So with that being said, I'm going to play this video and we can discuss it, okay? You there, Diamond?
Sounds good.
Yes, I am, and I am muting.
Okay. Let me just make this bigger for everybody. Oh, I don't think I can. Here we go.
And we begin this Sunday morning with two very different applications of the law. News this morning of a possible indictment of former President Donald Trump by progressive Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg over claims of so-called hush money payments made 7 years ago in 2016. On the Truth social media app this weekend, President Trump indicating he will be arrested this Tuesday. This happening just days after blockbuster new details of suspicious bank transactions involving the Biden family and communist China. On Thursday, House Oversight Committee Chairman, Kentucky Congressman James Comer, revealed that in March of 2017, a firm affiliated with CEFC China Energy transferred $3 million to an entity associated with the Biden family partner, Rob Walker. Then in the following 3 months, more than $1 million of that money was distributed to members of the Biden family in small increments, including to Hunter Biden, the president's brother, James Biden, and his daughter-in-law, Hallie Biden, all receiving payouts. Questions are also arising this morning over the identity of one account labeled simply Biden, which received a total of $70,000 in 4 installments during that time. In a statement to Fox News, a spokesperson for Hunter Biden's legal team played it all down, saying in part the accounts so dramatically listed by Representative Comer belonged to Hunter, to his uncle, and to Haley, nobody else. For more on this investigation into the Biden family's business dealings and to the expected Trump indictment this week is the House Oversight Committee Chairman, Congressman James Comer. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Do you have any comment about Trump potentially being indicted on Tuesday?
Well, it's very odd that this would come out just the very next day after I revealed bank records, which showed that the Biden family, the president in particular, hasn't been truthful with respect to his family receiving payments directly from the Chinese Communist Party. So it almost looks like it's an effort to detract. But at the very least, it's another example of two-tier system of justice. Look, we've been looking into these classified documents. We saw the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago, for one set of supposedly mishandled classified documents, but yet Joe Biden's had at least 5 different locations of mishandled classified documents, and they give him days and days to go in and clean up with his attorneys. So this looks to me like it's another example of a 2-tier system of justice at the DOJ.
So, Congressman, let's go through some of those bank records. This is really the first batch of bank records you were able to get because they've been stonewalling you. Are there more?
There are many more, Maria. This is one deal. We think there are as many as 11 more deals. Now, we don't know what those deals are. What the Bidens, in the beginning, the White House denied having any knowledge or the fact that their family was involved in any sort of way, shape, or form with the CCP. But now we have bank records that reveal otherwise. We don't know what the Bidens did in return for this money. The lawyer said that it was seed capital for a business. We haven't been able to find a business, Maria. We're going to have an opportunity to ask people about that were closely aligned with the Biden family. We've talked to them privately. I'm not going to reveal what they say privately, but very soon they'll either be talking to everyone in the form of a deposition or even better in a committee hearing. But right now it looks like the Biden family just pocketed this money. This is one deal. We have 11 more to go, and I'm pretty confident we'll be getting more bank records in very soon.
All right. So $1 million distributed to the Bidens on one deal, and you say there are 11 others. Let's talk about what possibly the CCP could have been paying for. Do you have any indication, whether it be from the laptop, from your investigation, that gives us any information about what specifically China was paying the Biden family for?
Well, we know that when the president was vice president in the Obama administration, he made several trips to China. He brought his son and some of these associates with him. They met in different places with some of these people that the president claimed he never met with. So we know the president hasn't been truthful about his involvement when he was vice president. But from talking to former associates that were involved with Hunter Biden, what we know the Biden family had agreed to help China do was get their foot in the door on the American energy industry, not just purchase liquefied natural gas, but also purchase interest in drillers for natural gas, as well as try to do things like help China buy farmland. Remember, this is something that every American's outraged over. There's bipartisan support in Congress to try to block China from coming in and taking over various interests of our American economy. And now we learned that the Biden family was directly involved with helping China navigate the federal bureaucracy and the sanctions involved with the U.S. government. So this is very concerning, and this is why we're going to continue this investigation of Joe Biden. And remember, it's an investigation of Joe Biden.
That's right. Yes. And I've been saying that from day one, that it's an investigation of Joe Biden, not Hunter Biden, because they were paying for Joe Biden. I mean, they were paying for time or influence, whatever it is, from a sitting vice president. But there was something on the laptop that was also informative, where Hunter Biden is talking to a colleague, somebody who was representing the China partnership, right?
Yes. There was a message that Hunter was very frustrated with one of these business partners in China, that he had done every blanking thing they had ever asked of him. And of course, this would have been when Joe Biden was vice president. And he reminded him that they had never done anything in return for him. And then a few weeks later, this $3 million wire appears in the Robinson Walker account. And the very next day, they distributed money to Hunter Biden and then at least 2 other family members and possibly 3 family members. So there's evidence in the laptop that shows that Hunter Biden was communicating with them and had interactions and done things for them while his father was vice president. So this is very concerning. Again, the White House hasn't been truthful about this from day one. I don't think the White House ever dreamed we would get bank records. I've got bad news for the White House. This is just the beginning. We're going to get a lot more bank records, and they're going to have to continue to backpedal and come up with some type of reason why the Biden families received millions and millions of dollars from our adversaries.
Well, this is so incredibly dangerous. And I mean, it feels sinister. The Chinese Communist Party wants to overtake the #1 superpower, take America down, become the #1 superpower. And they've been coming at us at all ends, a surveillance balloon. We even have Chinese nationals coming into the wide open southern border. the apprehension numbers are up 1,000% year over year. And yet you've got Joe Biden, doing these deals with China while he was vice president, and now real soft on China. There was no response to the surveillance balloon. There was no response to COVID-19 leaking from the lab. I don't even think he's ever raised it with Xi Jinping. How much do they have on Joe Biden?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. That's what this investigation is all about. It sure seems that Joe Biden makes strange decisions that oftentimes put America last and China first. And we want to know if he's compromised because of the millions and millions of dollars that his family has taken from China. And we're going to continue with this investigation. And I think over the last 2 weeks, we've already presented a lot of evidence as to why this investigation is of the utmost importance.
And when will you be putting out subpoenas?
Well, we've subpoenaed a bank. More to come, Maria. I think that the American people are going to see this is a very calculated, very credible investigation. We're taking steps. I've been transparent with the American people from day one. We're going to follow the money. We knew there was a money trail. We've spoken to enough people that were involved in these shady business schemes all around the world. Everything that we've subpoenaed thus far was accurate from what our whistleblowers were telling us. And we have a whole lot more information. Again, this was just the first deal, and we have many more to come.
Wow. All right, Mr. Chairman, we'll be watching for those additional 11 deals and whether there was money transferred. Thanks very much for your time.
So what do you guys think about that? So look at all the crime from the Biden family and nothing happens. Mountain Man, what say you? Nothing
happened yet.
Yet, right. So do you think that's a buildup for what's to come?
Well, I'm just I'm like everybody else. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. I'm looking at some of the chats and just get a feel for what people are thinking. And
well, my chat's a lot off topic here because there's one person in here that wants to keep hammering the same question over and over. Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett, cool it, man. Just try to listen and learn a little bit. I'll speak to Garrett real quick if you don't mind. Garrett, he doesn't have a crystal ball. He didn't know the people that came to peacefully protest were going to be arrested. They were arrested after he became president, so that's why he didn't pardon them. What was he supposed to do? Hand out 500,000 pardons before he left office for everybody that had showed up at the protest on J6? Did you want him to pardon all the people that were dressing up like protesters? I mean, what are you talking about? So just drop it. We're talking about what's going on with Trump as far as him being arrested. And is it happening to cover up the news cycle about all this stuff that's coming out about Biden and Haley Biden and Hunter Biden? That's just one transaction out of hundreds.
That's right.
So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, thank you for addressing that, Mountain Man. Diamond, what do you think about that video?
I thought that it's so apparent to everybody that that family, there's no company. I think she said that they couldn't find a company that they were paying. So the company was the family, and they definitely should have charges brought up against them. But I don't know if we're going to see that right now anyway.
No, I don't think it's time for it yet. But I wish they'd speed up the process because it's so obvious.
Well, I'll tell you something that hit me a couple of minutes ago. People were saying even if Trump had got indicted, he could still run for president, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's to say that there's a sealed indictment with Joseph Robinette Biden's name on it?
That is true. And I hope there is one, Mountain Man. I really do hope.
Well, there's 300,000 of them sealed across the U.S. So that very well could be the case.
I think it's time we start seeing something here. Trump's got it all. Let's go.
Well, he did call for protests, and that doesn't mean to show up with a bunch of gaudy flags and like they overdid it, trying to look like Trump supporters,
Right.
and smoke bombs and all that garbage. Protests like conservative protests. You get out, every time you see conservative protests, they're having a good time. They play music. They, sing songs. It's a
protest.
Yeah, fellowship protest is what it is. Not the kind of garbage they put on J6.
Right. Because for 2 days down there in DC, all I seen was prayers and singing and people speakers and families, and it was peaceful. It was nothing like you've seen in these videos on J6.
That's what he's talking about, So we'll have to see now how he knows it's going to be on Tuesday.
Yeah.
He pretty much laid it out there, and he doesn't put out misinformation.
And I'm always questioning why is he calling for protests? I think there's something behind it more than just the possibility that he's going to be taken into custody. I think there's an underlying reason. I don't know yet what it is, because I didn't think after the last one J6 that he would call for it again. I didn't think he would.
Well, again, though, it was a peaceful protest. The other side turned it into something it wasn't.
And are they going to do it again this time?
Oh, I 100% believe that. I don't think any of us will be out there protesting. It will be them. But be careful with the words you guys are using in chat, okay? Because I don't want the algorithms to pick up those trigger words. Thank you. Just trying to keep my channel safe. Yeah, Mike Mazda's been really hammering home to fly your flags upside down. Yeah, it's a trap. I agree.
It's a trap if people act the fool.
Right.
But not if they protest. Putting an American flag upside down is a internationally recognized distress signal.
Yep.
I was watching one panel one time last year. Some character was on there. Let somebody fly American flag around me. I'll tell you, like he would, hurt them or do something because I was with the military. You don't fly the flag upside down, and that's why I have issues with people who carry on like that. Just because they were peeling potatoes in the military doesn't think they can tell people how to protest. People fought and died, so other people had the right to fly that flag upside down if this country was in distress.
Yep. How many thousands and thousands of good men and women have lost their lives for us? And here we sit whining.
That's right. And as many times as Mr. T has gone out in the rain, in blowing wind, in freezing cold, and done his stump speech to rally hundreds of thousands of people. Okay? People can get out and wave a flag for Trump and talk to their neighbors about how criminal this action that they're taking against him is. I mean, even the regular bullhorn crowd, MSNBC, all that bunch, they're not reveling in this. They realize that this is a bridge too far.
It is a bridge too far. Oh, Margaret Agnor, she said her son gave his life for all of us. See, this is what I'm talking about. I know my grandfather lost a lot of friends in World War II fighting for us. And he was never the same after that either. He used to call it fighting the Japs in his sleep. He'd fall asleep in the chair and he was always kicking and his hands were always going. You know, these men and women see a lot, endure a lot for us to sit here and piss and moan, you know?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
The P&M crowd.
Earlier this afternoon, KLW News came on and said air raid sirens were sounding again in Ukraine. So it's almost like, look here, not there. Oh, we lost Mountain Man.
Uh-oh. You must have had a bad connection.
Come back, Mountain Man, come back.
I definitely think, though, I don't know what's coming. I don't have a crystal ball, but we all need to be prepared the best we can.
Every time I go into the chats, not every time, but I got to watch when I hit the buttons.
Yeah.
Don't push the buttons, Mountain Man.
Well, I'm trying to keep up with some of the chats.
Yeah.
I know. That was a joke between Simon and I.
Not that we've never done it before, right, Nikki?
No, never. Oh, boy.
I see Georgie, when you use that word, use a 1 for an I or a 4 for an A. The VACCIN word is, you got to cover that up with.
You're talking to nobody, Mountain Man.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Okay. Well, Georgie.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button on your way out.
I'm going to ask again, please do not use trigger words, keywords, spell it out differently to get your point across. Please do not use that in my chat or your comments are going to be removed. I'm sorry, but I don't want the algorithms picking them up.
Yeah, it means many times as we tell people that they don't know by now, for crying out loud. And it's not our fault that this is not a free place that we can openly discuss things. It's not our fault.
No, it's not. Trust me. I wish we could say whatever we want to say.
Yep.
So anyways, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? That's all I really came on for was that. I just thought it was quite interesting that they got all this on the Bidens and Mr. T's the one's going to be arrested. Okay.
Well, it's yet to happen. He's the one they say they're going to arrest.
Wouldn't it be nice, Mountain Man, if it was 44 instead of 45?
Well, I've made a note of that. Precedents that have been set in their fevered attempt to go after Trump. They're opening their own barn door.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Apples versus oranges. DeSantis does have to authorize the arrest in Florida. So that's another thing that we're going to have to look at. If he authorizes the arrest for him, that's going to speak volumes.
Yeah, it's funny. There has to be some kind of coordination between the governor's office and the feds. And right when that's going on, you see I was seeing articles come out, bashing DeSantis that him taking away the liquor license for those people that did the DRAG show wasn't real. That place still has their liquor license, and I'm not saying about the veracity of that report, but I'm just saying that I see that a lot of stuff coming out instead of holding DeSantis up like a viable alternative to Trump. A lot of them are starting to turn on him. So maybe he's going to do something pro MAGA or something.
I was just reading the chats.
Trumped up charges.
What's
Trumped up
that?
charges. I guess 80 said trumped up charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. That seems to be the consensus, and just about everything you look at, if you cruise through the UTizzle platform, I don't see any liberals celebrating it, and the people that are talking about it are saying it's going to make him stronger. And if they back out and don't do it, they pretty much dug their own hole. How are they going to get out of it? How are they going to back out of it?
This chat is going crazy. I was going to speak on one thing, and then 4 more things are coming up. I got to stop reading the chat. People are saying that Ron DeSantis doesn't have to.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. If you had that argument about governors actually stopping a federal action was pretty much ended when George Wallace had that confrontation with when Kennedy sent in the 801st Airborne, I believe it was, when he blocked the schoolhouse door. But they do coordinate with the governor. But the governor, I don't believe he can stop a federal action. Like I said, okay, apples versus oranges says it's not federal. That's right. They are trying to elevate it to a felony. They're trying to elevate a state misdemeanor, and it's not even, you can't even call it a charge. It's what was the term somebody used earlier today? I heard a claim. It's more of a claim and a legal theory than it is any charge anybody can find on the books. But the claim is a misdemeanor, and they're trying to tie it in with another action Trump took or one of Trump's people took to elevate it to a felony. So until anyone reads what the indictment is, apples and oranges, you can't really say that it's not federal because we don't know. We haven't read the indictment. But hey, they could identify as federal. You got to remember what kind of people you're dealing with.
I don't know.
I mean, people that don't know the basics, of life, as far as identifying, what they call or rate a charge.
I heard somewhere today too, someone was talking, and I don't recall who I was listening to, but they said that T will not be arrested on Tuesday. It'll be sometime this week, but it won't be Tuesday. What that's worth, I'm just telling you what I heard.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows. But Mr. T put out his post for a reason. I'd like to go down to Mar-a-Lago, get about, 2 million people down there in Florida. get our lawn chairs and our flags and hats and pina coladas and hey, and let's get through that crowd to go get him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Garrett. I hear two different stories, Garrett. So you're probably right. I'm sure your law degree's there. I'm not sure what the real answer is, but
Let me see.
we'll
What's he
see what
saying?
happens. He said the judges can approve and to go in and get Trump. They don't need.
They coordinate. I said they don't need the government's permission, but they do coordinate with the all federal law enforcement needs to get a judge's approval and go in there and get him with probable cause. Well, that's they do coordinate with the state governor, especially in a high profile case like this.
Right.
But the governor can't stop it, but they do coordinate because people get SHOT when they come in after a former president without telling anybody, because they don't know for certain that this person or group of people that's coming are from the Manhattan district in New York City. They could be in costumes, and the Secret Service asks questions later. So, Garrett, I see what you're saying, but for them to come in unannounced just because they got a piece of paper from a judge and they run into a crack Secret Service team plus a private security team, that is a good way to get SHOT. So there will be coordination.
Yes. I heard on Nino today, he had an interview with Juan O'Savin, and he talked about the last time they said they were going to do the arrest in Florida, that they removed bushes and had trees removed and trimmed so that there would be a easy how do I want to say?
Site path.
Yes, for cameras and things like that to be able to see inside the building.
At Mar-a-Lago, you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got how's that again? How they got cameras?
At Mar-a-Lago, she was saying they were trimming the tree and the bushes and even removed some trees so they could have so they could take pictures. So the reporters, mainstream media could be there to take pictures of him.
They'd have a clear shot at seeing with cameras to see what was going on inside the building if they went in to arrest him.
Yeah, B-Dog says the amount of drones over Mr. T's area is overwhelming. I'm sure it looks like gnats in the garden.
Yeah.
And Ronald says take your eyes off the real problems of the Bidens. That's right. Pamela, how you doing? Please, if anyone talks to Shadow Dancer. How's that? Oh, I don't know for Shadow Dancer, but if we all talk Shadow Dancer, you see what Pamela's saying there.
A family member has that forceful visit. Okay. She might be in here. I don't know.
And she's going to record it.
So anyways, did you find anything else, Diamond?
No. Just the I was looking to see if anything came of the air raid sirens, and I'm not seeing anything else. The ones over Uke and the the bird crane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
go ahead, Mountain Man.
Well, I see the chat you've got on your screen there that he might not be able to campaign.
She's asking if it's possible if he can still campaign.
Oh yeah, he's not going. If this even happens, he's not going to sit in a jail cell or be in anywhere for any appreciable length of time. For one, he's a former president. Two, New York's got the no cash bail requirement. They're letting people go for all kinds of heinous things. They don't put up a dime. So equal protection, they can't hold him.
Mary Freeland saying already people gathering at Mar-a-Lago as of yesterday.
That's
No
where I'd
news.
like to be. That's
Yeah.
where I'd like. Not up in New York. No, I'm not walking into that damn beehive. Certain type of hole. I'm not walking into that S-hole. I'll go down to Florida.
Well, it's going to be an interesting week, I think. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. And no fear. Have no fear. I seen someone posted in the chat earlier that people plan on protesting by taking their money out of the bank.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that tonight. I think that's a trap. I think Jack Posobiec put that up about taking the money out of the bank. Now, I could see it if people were going to do it to be finished with this proposed cryptocurrency. Because if they get to where they want to be with that, you go to the bank and say, hey, I want my $5,000, whatever it is. They go, well, you already have it. It's in your phone. But you're going to get your cash out and don't do any business with banks. Yeah, then they can't institute cryptocurrency.
I put that on my community page. Did you see what I put in my? Yeah. They're saying by July, the CBDC will start going into effect. I think if we're going to do anything, now it's time to make the move.
Yeah. Pull all you can. Bobcat says, right. I mean, there are some things that if you have, you pay your utility bills automatically, what do you call it? Automatic drafts. A lot of people sign up for that for bills like monthly bills like utility bills and incidentals. But you got your cash in case you need it. Go grocery shop and pay all cash. And I had a friend of mine tell me a long time ago about these cards. All of them got it. Food Lion, Walmart. Here's the sale price if you show your card. And you take a look at that card, it's got your name, your address, and you know how quick they could look up your eating habits, your spending habits. I go up there, cash, say, oh, I don't have a card. Can I borrow yours? And the person running the register says, sure. And they swipe the store card. And I still get the discounts, but they don't know what I'm doing. And I give them cash when I go shopping. You think about if you've got a Walmart bonus card, if you got a Target card, if you got people make sure they get cards for everywhere they go so they can get the deals. Well, throw them in the trash, go there and say, I need to use a store card because I don't have a card. Would you like to fill an application out? No, I wouldn't, but could I use your card? Yes, you can. Or if they say, no, you can't, just say, fine, all this stuff on the belt right here, put it back where
right.
I'm going somewhere else. And you watch how quick they swipe that card.
That's right. Cheshire's Insight. She said, I came out with the idea of taking 3 days, no work, no movement on the roads, shut it down the country in protest.
That's another good tactic. That's like, and I haven't heard from him in a long time, our friend Oakman from Bazizzle.
Yeah.
He was saying that if they don't shut their businesses down now to protest, they're going to get shut down later. Because that's what this is all about. Control, owning, nothing being and being happy, and then handing you out little credits and little dots and dashes on your phone instead of money. So it's either shut them down now to protest, or they will shut them down for you. It might be 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, but eventually you're going to shut down anyway.
Sorry, my daughter came in and interrupted me. Life doesn't stop.
No, life doesn't stop, but we sure in the heck can slow it down. It's like Lech Walesa said. You remember Lech Walesa? He was in Poland when John Paul was the Pope, first Polish Pope, and Reagan was his office, and Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister of the UK. And
Wasn't he a
Walesa,
labor? Wasn't he a labor leader, Mountain Man?
he was, he was
Yeah. Okay.
in charge of the unions in Poland.
Yes.
And the Solidarity movement. And he said, listen, we can make tractors run backwards if we want to. And that was just before Romania fell, and Nicolae Ceausescu got the drumhead tribunal that ended up in him and his wife going to the great unknown against the wall. So yeah, we can slow things down. Just buy stuff you need. Put a clamp on commerce. Use cash. Don't use their cards that track you. Leave your phone at home when you go shopping.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh gosh, I got to check my phone. Say hi to a neighbor in the store. Just say, I'm buying just what I need and I'm paying cash. Got my money out of the bank. I got enough in there to cover the light bills.
That's what Jeff Riddle was talking about the other day, Diamond. Just leave enough in the bank to pay your bills that you got to pay online and take the rest out.
Yep. Because they got to keep, especially utility companies, they got to keep those when people sign up for automatic drafts to pay their electric bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They got to keep those going because they're all run by the unions, electric companies. They don't get their money, it's going to be like France. I mean, that whole country's nothing but a union. And what they passed this law that they're not allowed to protest. Well, with the French, that's like, I don't know what that's like, but it ain't gonna work. And they've already broken out the tear gas and the fire hoses today in France, because of Macron passing that edict that's illegal to protest. Well, they just came out twice as hard.
Well, it's, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Gina said, imagine if they stopped cash, the drug dealers and immigrants would go nuts.
They would.
Well, I'd go nuts too.
Exactly.
They'll never stop a barter or some kind of cash system. They'll never stop it. Not without some rough waters. Mike says, close all automatically paid accounts and pay by snail mail.
Mike Taylor News just posted, just in, Americans begin showing up at Trump Towers in New York to express support for President Trump. Rumored arrest. Update. Video footage may be from 2020. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I saw something on the news, though, or something. They were outside in Trump Towers earlier on Fox News, but who knows? They could be lying too. The news.
Well, you know it.
They could be showing us old footage.
Hi, Onami.
Hi, Onami. Good to see you.
Well, the scary thing about it is, if they could get so many people in this country to spend such a long time, quote, working from home and wearing that thing on their head or front of their head, playing along with that. And as I said in the past, just hang their arm out the door and go through a drive-through to get the punching arm. That's pretty scary. That we got a society that is that crippled as far as their individual judgment.
Oh, okay, Outlandish. She's saying the video that's circulating around, you can barely see it, but the flags have 2020 on them.
Yeah, TJ Cat said they're all wearing shorts. In New York.
It's probably like 30 degrees in New York City right now.
You watch Wrist. You watch Christ. What does that say? Says cash is king. And
Yep.
that's true. It's king. It always will be.
Well, that thing I put on my community page, like I said, they're saying July of this summer that we're going to go digital. So that tells me, I feel that something has to happen between now and July, or we lose. Right?
Well, we've been saying that for 2 years. Something's got to happen by a certain date, or else it's all over. It's just getting started.
But Mountain Man, if we go digital, no more cash.
That ain't gonna happen. That's a transition they can't do overnight. Now they could transition us from gold to the petrodollar overnight. I think they made Nixon do that. But the thing is, you still had stuff in your pocket, and people are going to have yard sales. People are like was said earlier in the chat, they're going to have immigrants. You're going to have drug dealers. You're going to have farmers markets by the side of the road. They got to deal in something.
But don't fear. That's for sure. Don't fear anything that we're saying. I mean, God is in control. God has this.
Yep.
So it's just,
Well,
we're going to have to go down a dark, bumpy road, I'm afraid. So hang on to your hats, have your batteries and your flashlights.
Donna says if Mr. T gets arrested, he will be able to present his evidence. And that's very true. Just like what we were told. How do you present evidence? And they can't hide it. It's a matter of public record. Like this Alex Murdaugh, the one who was convicted of KILing his wife and son.
Yeah.
You can get through a FOIA request. You can listen to his jailhouse phone calls. And people are doing videos on where he's talking to his son about, oh, can you send me some money in my canteen so I can get some socks and some beef sticks and ramen noodles? So stuff becomes public realm. It has to be produced with a Freedom of Information Act. That's what a FOIA is.
Yeah.
So, there's stuff be submitted evidence, and judge may put gag orders on stuff, but again, we're in a situation where I know that everybody involved is being heavily reviewed, and their actions are being heavily documented. If there's people breaking the law, there's going to be a comeuppance.
Yep. Well, doesn't the evidence isn't this whole thing, or am I missing something? Isn't this whole thing have to do with money that he paid a certain female, kind of like hush money? Isn't that what this is all about?
Yes, but I thought that was already put to bed. It was already said and done.
It was. Right. And then somebody brought it up again. So what evidence could he present I mean, the evidence that he has that he could present would have to be relative to that case that they're bringing up, right? It wouldn't have anything to do with the money that the crime family has brought up, because that wouldn't be relevant to that, would it? Or would it?
Mountain Man. I think
I'm,
she did.
I'm a little lost. It's got to be relevant to the money he paid to that woman, and
Right.
they're saying that he filed it under a legal expense, and that he misallocated the money on his tax returns. I think that's the crux of it, which is they say it's a novel theory. It's a theory. It's nothing established in law, but I was kind of taken off track because the Outlandish Patriot put up where Gateway Pundit said it now looks like President Trump will not be arrested Tuesday.
Mm. Yeah, I see that.
Dennis
Huh.
says he's seen pictures of new money. It's cool looking. There's always going to be cash, and I said that the end game in this situation. I said this. I've been saying it for years, but that it's going to go back to precious metals. BRICS is going back to precious metals. These huge economies. India has got a population that rivals or exceeds China. Is in BRICS. China is in BRICS. They're all going to be going to precious metal backed currency, and we can't sit around with what Andrew Jackson called rag money, just pieces of paper printed out by a bunch of elite families that are sideburn patriots was preaching to the choir about the certain family playing with our money. We can't. It's going to be what Putin called it: candy wrappers. It's going to have a value of candy wrappers when you can. And I think that the new money, one possibility could be that they have actual trace amounts of physical gold in what you carry in your pocket, or silver. That reaches a standardized amount, a certain weight of physical gold weaved into a dollar that is equal to $1's worth of gold at a certain rate. Maybe today's rate, maybe the rate it's going to be in 6 months or 2 years from now. But it will have that physical gold in the money.
Mountain Man, I got a question. Hold on.
Yeah.
It relates to what you're saying. So Cheshire Insight says, by the way, Ireland has all their banks backed by gold last year. Okay, wasn't the president or whatever of Ireland just in talking with Moron on St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, and Scotland's going to have a referendum in October of this year to break away from the UK. So there's a lot of stuff going on that we're not up to date and privy to. It'd be kind of hard to keep up with it all, but the deal is, if you've got such a huge portion of foreign nations with a tremendous amount of the populace of the world that are saying, look, we're not taking anything unless it's backed by precious metals that's physical and verifiable. We're not going to accept that any money unless that's the way it is. We're going to be dealing in candy wrappers. So it doesn't surprise me if Ireland goes to physical gold and silver.
Mike Mazda saying at Mountain Man, that is why the earthquakes in other nations, because they're signing BRICS.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know that the Turkish president Erdogan, he told the Western powers, keep your filthy hands off of us, you bunch of Satanists. We know what you're about. We can see your smile behind your mask. And then within 48 hours, they had earthquake in Turkey. Remember that?
Yes.
He called them for what they are.
Mary Freeland saying all pubs in Ireland shut down just to test people's reaction on St. Patty's Day in Ireland. Is that what you're saying, Mary Freeland? That's crazy. Let's see. Reba's saying 240 countries have agreed to gold backing, but that haven't agreed to the currency yet.
That will be the peg. What will be pegged, or what will be pegged to? That everybody's been pegging their currency to the dollar for as long as anybody can remember. It's the first time in human civilization, this nation has had all other nations judge the value of their currency by pegging it to the US dollar. And that's why they've been able to get away with what they've been able to get away with by making it just paper. And Reba, I noticed you asked me the same question 3 times in my chats on my last live stream. And I'm sorry, honey, I didn't see it until I did the replay. I saw the same question 3 times, and I'm sorry I didn't see it during the live stream. I don't know if it was the way you were typing my name in that it didn't show up in my live, but when I did the replay last night, I saw all 3 questions, but it was colored orange for some reason.
Can you answer a question now?
I just did 240 questions. Have agreed to gold backing, but that hadn't agreed to currency able to be used. That's what I'm saying. The currency, what she means by saying they haven't agreed to the currency yet that will be used. What she means is what will be the flagship. What will be everybody peg their money to as the what they used to call the gold standard. Okay,
Right.
what is your country's currency worth compared to the US dollar? That was when the dollar was king. The dollar was backed by gold. All other countries were judged and rated in accordance to what the US dollar was doing. But now that we've taken it since 1973 or whatever, 72 or 73 to oil, they had all commodities tied to the US dollar. The value of hog bellies, copper, oil, all the major indices were tied to the dollar. I think that's what Reba's getting at.
Lori H, he's not muted. Check your volume.
Who's muted?
Lori H was asking, is he muted?
Am I muted?
No, you're not. We can all hear you. Can you guys all hear Mountain Man okay?
I hear him fine.
But anyway, Reba, I'll have to talk to you in my chats later. See what's going on. You were chasing me down. She said, ha, ha, ha.
She said she's chasing you down, Mountain Man.
Yeah.
I seen her ask the question 3 times, but it's not like I could text you because you're on your phone and I don't screw up your live stream. So
Craig the Hunter's mouse was eaten by a cat.
Oh, Craig.
Jeff Riddle told him to smack himself.
He's telling him to give him a factory reset. Sideburn Soldiers is saying you're all a little muffled. Okay.
Well, I can let me see, I'll take these headphones out and do a test. It'd be a good time to do a test.
Liz, can you hear us okay? Can you give us a 5x5?
Does that sound better?
Yeah, you sound good. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it does sound good.
Reba's question is, Mount Man, I was asking for the information on UN and Russia's agreement made many, many years ago.
Yep, I remember now. That was called the Minsk Accords, MINSK Accords. Agreement was signed in Minsk, and that is where Putin initially, at the beginning of this conflict, offered to have negotiations before things got really heated. But there was armed conflict, but it wasn't tuned way up. And one of my first videos I did where the Ukrainians went to go through peace negotiations. They sent a delegation of, I think, 7 or 8, and one of their own negotiators was SHOT as a traitor when they returned, because he was trying to hammer out a deal with the Russians. And as soon as they got back to Ukraine, they took him out and executed him. So, but anyway, yeah, the Minsk Accords is what you're referring to, Reba, and that was done in 2014 when the Crimea business was going on under the Obama administration, and it was all agreed to, and with NATO and everybody involved. But there had been repeated egregious and documented violations of the Minsk Agreement, and that's what, since 2014, and that's what's led to this conflict. Exactly right, Reba.
Interesting. All right, Cheshire, were the pubs closed on St. Paddy's Day in Ireland? She's in Ireland. If you could answer
I
that.
figured they'd be rioting worse than the French.
What's that?
I said if it was closed, they'd be rioting worse than the French.
Right? Especially on St. Paddy's Day, right?
That's sacrilege.
Yeah, right. I don't see it. Oh, there she is. No, they were not. So there you go, Mary Freeland. They were not closed.
That would have been a real Donnybrook.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
Reba.
Get it, Nikki?
Yes, I do.
Ha ha. That's right, Reba. Not one elected official talked about it.
Can you guys hold the fort down for a second?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be right back. Diamond, you still here with us?
I'm here.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yep, Diamond's with you. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
looking through the
Yeah.
somebody
I
was
gonna
raised
say,
by
do your thing. Yeah, do your thing, Mountain Man. You go right
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I'm just I figured it'd be a good time to see somebody was raised by raccoons. Okay. Garrett's fitting right in. He's got Craig picking on him, and he's picking back, so he's fitting right in.
Yeah. Yeah. Craig the Hunter, Jeff Riddle, and Garrett looks like he's joined in, but others will. Craig and Jeff tease each other a lot. So.
Ha ha ha. But they were nice raccoons. That's good to hear. Pubs were not closed. They opened at 4:00 instead. Man, I bet you it sounded like a toilet flushing with all that beer and stuff going down everybody's pipes.
Yeah.
Ross, yeah, I see, Donna. You're right. You're right about that. The Titanic was to get certain people out of the way.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like a handful of people. Wasn't it like 3 or 4 or 5 of them? I can't remember. But they take a whole ship down. They kill hundreds of people to take those others out.
Yep.
You know?
Well, look how many people they're taking out in the UKR.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
So I'm just cruising through the chats to see if anybody's got any questions or anything, or got an issue they want to chit chat about. I'm going to go up probably 8:30 or so.
Oh, okay.
I don't have anything really ready for my picture show.
Mountain Man, when he uses videos, Diamond, when he uses not StreamYard, but his Prism that he uses, he calls it picture shows, and they're really good.
Yeah.
But it makes me laugh. Picture shows.
Picture shows.
Yeah, I don't have any pictures ready though, and I've only got about a half an hour or so to get ready. So I might just do a regular
StreamYard. But I told everybody a picture show, so I don't know.
Well, you can only do what you can do, Mountain Man. And, people just need to understand how much work goes into that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And you can do it again tomorrow. You can do your picture show tomorrow if you're not ready.
That's right. I can.
That's right. Because you know why?
Why?
Because it's your platform and you're Mountain Man.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, hi, Tina. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in forever.
Janice is right, too. That's what Mr. Putin said. 7 out of 10 airplanes are targeted.
Oh, Lori H., I hope your hen's okay, hon. Have a blessed night. She said she's got to go. She's got a hen with a bum foot.
I saw a picture of Mr. Putin. It was from the back, but he was driving a car. And he was driving in, they said he was driving in the Uke and the crane bird.
Yeah.
A section of that. So I don't know how true that is or not.
Well, I think this business is generating talk across, I say party lines, but I think we're beyond that. But people that cross philosophical lines are speaking to each other. And I think we'll be seeing more interaction on our platforms with people who would not normally tune in, who prior to this threatened arrest maybe changing their mind now from what they thought of Trump prior. Okay, so we're going to be having a stirred up pot as far as an opportunity to get people to discuss certain topics and realities instead of narratives that have been spread, like the Charlottesville narrative, which was false, edited tapes to make Mr. T look like he was saying something he never said, things like that. So I think that's the thing to get ready for.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing a lot of new people coming in looking, just like we were, looking for information. We're going to see these people coming around looking for information. Is that what you're saying, Mountain Man?
Yeah. Some of them may come on strong. I had one guy come in, I did last Friday night. Some guy came in and he made a goofy little comment, like he stuck his toe in the water. He said, "I think you have the Trump family and the Biden family mixed up." And then he never came back up again. But that was a pretty silly comment, but I could see he was trying to be involved in the conversation without, but at least they're trying. And if they never comment again, if they listen to what I'm saying, the Trump's family never got involved with cash payments from Russia and China. Remember, Trump was talking about Hunter getting $1 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. That stuff never gets talked about. So we get to present those things to people, present it, and it's inarguable, and it's starting to look ridiculous with people walking around with that thing on their face. It's starting to look ridiculous, and when people realize that certain people scared them into being ridiculous looking, they're not going to be too happy about it.
Okay, so we got one in the chat now, Mountain Man. Do you want to address it?
Let me see. Who is it?
John, is it Easwick? Said Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis.
Yeah, the Saudis aren't Russia. They aren't China. The Saudis are an ally. And you do business you're an international business person, and you do business with countries that are authorized to do business with the United States. How can that be twisted into a crime?
He said the Saudis committed the 911, which I'm going to remove your comment because I don't want that.
Yeah, that's not. If you make comments again, you get a timeout. If you make comments again, you can't make blanket accusations like that. I played that tape about Mr. T said we've never really gotten to the bottom of 911, and you got to be careful. What his name was, John. You got to be careful when the media and the intelligence services tell you right away it was the Saudis' fault. There's a good chance they're lying to you. As a matter of fact, it's 100% chance that they're lying to you. They tried to blame it on the Saudis, and so no, they weren't behind that. We're going to find out who was behind it, and that's probably one of the things that are going to be a difficult truth for people to absorb as to who was really behind 911. And I put up that meme about the admiral. My video got taken down, remember? I put up the meme about the guy who bought the buildings and then got that big insurance payout.
Here you go. I'll put them on the screen so you can read them, Mountain Man.
Okay, let me get sideburns. Okay. Neither did Iraq, but we invaded them because they found Tomb of Gilgamesh. Well, I don't know if they found the Tomb of Gilgamesh or not, but that was a typical part of the endless wars. They used the 911 as an excuse to go into Iraq and stay involved, just like when McStain went over there and was finding excuses to be involved in Syria and to negotiate with ISIS. They're called neocons and part of the Uniparty. So that's a whole nother story, but you can't blend I don't know what you're talking about, sideburns.
He said
that was a claim, and it was invaded a week later. I don't know what you're talking about, the Empire State Building. I don't know what you're talking about with that. Yeah, it's all shenanigans. You're right. But we gotta get wise to it. We gotta do just like Mr. T said, get to the bottom of the shenanigans, and we gotta get just like we gotta get to the bottom of the greatest assault on our government in the 20th century, which is what happened to JFK. We're going to get to the bottom of that too. Mr. T's already told us that we're going to get to the bottom of that.
He's got another one I brought up.
Oh, let me see. I got to get out of the regular chats. Ivanka Trump received an honor award from World Economic and attached it to accept it, whatever that is.
She attended to accept it. She attended the WEF.
Oh, she attended to accept it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'll tell you what, I've done business with creeps. And because sometimes you have to do business with creeps. As a matter of fact, if you're not willing to do business with creeps, you can't do business. The trick is to get more money from them than they get from you. And just like the picture of Epstein standing next to Trump that is 30 years old, that the news puts up over and over and over again, doesn't mean a damn thing about Trump having anything to do with that person, Jeffrey E. But they wear it out just because she was in there rubbing elbows. Know thy enemy. Okay. You got to get in there. You got to get into a smile on your face, and you got to find out as much information as you can. And so they gave her the award. She didn't give them an award.
I
Just
got
like
something
when
from
Marx,
the Gateway
when Marx
Pundit.
wrote a letter, Karl Marx wrote a letter to Abraham Lincoln. Does that mean Lincoln's a Marxist because Karl Marx wrote a letter praising Lincoln and applauding him and saying how his committee of the working man over in Europe thinks he's a wonderful person? No, that's them trying to schmooze up to Lincoln, but they're trying to schmooze up to Ivanka. That doesn't make her bad. Now, if she was praising them and promoting them, that'd be another story. And that says hug friends close and enemies closer. That's right, Annette. Did Lincoln respond? Yes, he did. In my last video, I discussed that. The diplomat at the time was Charles Adams. Responded. The president is in receipt of your letter, and blah 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 blah. And he basically said, what we're striving to do is fight for all people's rights and liberties and to resist propaganda and mind our own business. That's basically what Charles Adams told Karl Marx. And that, in a nice way, is telling him to go mind his own business.
See, Sideburn Soldier learned something new, and he thanked you, Mountain Man.
All right, buddy. Yeah, take a look at it. Take a look at it. You can pull it up on duck, and the other word is duck, and the other word is go. You put that up, pull it up, and put in there Marx's letter to Lincoln. You can read the whole letter, and you can read Charles Adams' response in 1864 when Lincoln won his election for second term. What do I think of Robert Kennedy possibly running? Not much. I respect his position on the VAX. I respect his position. He's been against all of them, which I think is a little much, for 30 years. But you have to remember that he is a socialist, and he promoted the Venezuelan government when Chavez took over and turned Venezuela from a capitalist country to a socialist country. Robert Kennedy was on the air doing commercials for the Venezuelan government to give oil to people in the United States, New York City and other areas. And he was promoting Citgo oil. And that was all promoting and supporting a socialist takeover of Venezuela. So keep that in the back of your mind when you think of Robert Kennedy.
Wanda, I like your comment. If who you hang with is a statement of who you are, remember, Jesus hung around sinners for a reason.
Very good, Wanda.
I love it. All right. Well, it's 10 after 8, Mountain Man. Are you going to go on at 8:30?
Yeah, I think I'm going to skip this picture show. I can't put it together quick enough.
And that's okay. I mean, there's always tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to drop Mountain Man's link if anybody would like to come over to Mountain Man's channel and listen to him.
I'll be going up about 8:30. We can carry some discussions on. And if I don't see a comment, do you know, Nikki, we had almost 1,000 comments.
I know.
So
if you're not going to do a picture show, I can come sit up on panel and not speak. Hold on. And I can alert you in the private chat. Can you get to the private chat, Mountain Man?
If I don't knock myself off like I've done here a number of times, when I jump around on my screen, I've got pudgy fingers and I'm not very coordinated. And
well, maybe I'll just unmic myself and just let you know that there's a comment that you need to address if you miss something. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. I'm going to drop also Diamond Lil's link here, you guys. She comes on live every morning with Fellowship. We would love to see you guys over there in the morning. She comes on at between 10 and 10:20 every day. So there you go.
Craig the Hunter
Sure, Craig, you can drop St. Joseph Day video. I don't know what that is, but sure. Is that your video, Craig? Do you know, Diamond?
It says his to my St. Joseph's Day video.
Okay, yep,
Yeah.
sure can. All right, well, I thank everybody for coming, and thank you, Diamond, for joining me on panel and Mountain Man, and hopefully we'll
Thanks
see
for
everybody
having
over
me.
at Mountain Man's.
Yeah, I need a nap. No, I'm just kidding.
You can get a cat nap, Mountain Man, for about 15 minutes.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna head out. I appreciate everybody in the chats. If I missed any questions, it's hard to talk and scan
Yes.
at the same time, isn't it, Nikki?
100%.
Yeah,
Diamond will tell you that
Yes.
too. Diamond will tell you. You'll have people that very rarely, but you'll have people that show up just to cause trouble, and you don't even see it because you're
Yeah.
thinking while you're talking. You know.
Right.
that's why you have mods, Mountain Man.
All right, gang.
You
I
have the
appreciate
best.
everybody. I appreciate everybody, and I hope you all have a great night. And I'll be going live in about 8:30, between 8:30 8:35, something like that.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you over there, and I hope everybody will join us and join us in the morning on Diamond Lows for some great prayers and fellowship.
There you go.
Okay.
Good to see
All right,
you,
well-
Tina Boyd. Good to see you.
Yes. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you all the next time. Have a blessed night.
Good night.